Your elevation indefinitely requires isolation. Now, do you need the pain that I went through in the SHU, in the penitentiary, years upon years of just pure loneliness? Do you need that? You definitely don't. You just need a process in the morning where you sit with self, you reflect. Solitude is much greater than isolation because you're connected. But isolation is a needed part of it so that you realize loneliness isn't being away from people. Loneliness is believing that you're not sharing anything greater with the cosmic whole, with the collective consciousness. When you realize that you're sharing this existence, this life, everything we possess internally, and you make sure that your energy, your thoughts, your actions are an offering to the collective whole, you cannot be lonely. Now you're operating in a state of solitude, but that's oneness, that's connectedness. You're not believing in separateness, which is truly an illusion because physically, matter-wise, we're never separated. Vibration knows no location, so the pain I feel and sense, you can feel and sense as well. I know you guys are going through it because you're weak. You're weak because you don't know how strong you are. You're weak because you don't practice sitting with self, magnifying weakness and extinguishing it. This is why you're weak. You're weak because you believe in society as a whole more than the collective whole. The consciousness that we exist in an underlying exchange of energy, thoughts, and emotions. You believe in the tangible world, the sensory world. When it's been taken from you and you're sitting by yourself in a cell, and all you have is those feelings from within that you exchange on a separate plane, then you'll know what I'm speaking of. Have you got a text or a phone call or watched a video that gave you the chills, that brought tears of gratitude streaming down your face? You can always operate there by just going to my Instagram and connecting. The people who fail to connect, they're denouncing what they really feel inside. When you accept what you really feel inside and you really connect to self through sacrificial steps, like the caloric deficit, like the early wake up, like the daily intense workouts, these are just very simple ways to connect to us as a whole. They're offerings that you love this life and you want it more than your comfort. You want the connection with others more than you want these instantly gratifying fucking events of the tangible world that everybody partakes in and calls life. I really don't enjoy it as much as people would believe when they see my cars, my stuff, and all this. This is me trying to show the people that are still superficial that there's a route that exists where enlightenment is key. Now, if you've engaged in a certain process and you've listened to your conscience for a duration of time, there will be a tangible result in this world, and it will show itself in a monetary form. Now, if you say you're woke and you still haven't excelled in both worlds, then you're lacking massively in the understanding that the value you bring internally shapes your external world. So when you look within and you find answers, and then you package and gift answers, when you're a vessel for change from above to help people circumvent pain, a true alchemist turns the world into words. So he's able to get through and operate from an underlying exchange that most people could never understand. If this video's over your head, realize you're in the early phases of growth, and I love that. The early phases of growth is truly self-actualization. So you wouldn't understand what I'm speaking of when everything that I preach right now is transcendence, doing it for the whole. I wake up for you. I stay progressing for you. I've already done it for me. I'm not shocked with anything that I do because The steps of self-actualization I did in the dark in prison. It took me a very long time to transcend self, and that's why my videos seem for you. My wake-ups seem for you. Everything I do seems like it's meant for you because it is. Because the first stages I did in the dark. Self-actualization, where you're at. That's why most people, when they try to post their growth and what they're going through, it looks like me, watch me, because they're still in the first phases, which is okay. But it'll never be and feel like what it'll be and feel like when you transcend self, when you live for others. When you're a vessel packaging, when you're an observer sent to this plane, to understand the most difficult problems that humans go through, deliver them to others in a selfless manner, and commit your entire existence to this life. My entire existence is dedicated to the packaging of universal downloads in order to circumvent your pain. Modern day alchemists see what you're capable of, and they only see that. I only see what you can do, which is more. I only see what you can be, which is more. And I only know the path is through truth and honesty. The modern day alchemist turns his pain into purpose. The modern day alchemist turns all that fucking torture, torment, internal suffering into an observation. Therefore, the observer is unaffected. When the observer stands back with this pen and paper in hand and knows that he's experiencing these tragic events that are happening to him for the greater whole, he no longer suffers as the victim that you guys play. Once you learn this, you'll see your path and you'll realize it's not about you. That's why the simple growth teachers say it's about you right now. You have to focus on you. Yeah, that's stage 1 through 6, baby girl. 7 to 10 is transcendence. You're okay. You don't need to escape you. All you're doing is living for others. An example sent from above to guide everybody to make sure they don't walk the painful path that you did. And evolution truly occurs in an underlying exchange from one human to another. I love you guys. I know you're going to grow with me. So many of you already are. It's too easy because the other path consistently reveals its pain because the regret is undeniable. Let's go.